I'm shivering.
It's August.
It's the end of August and we're stood here in us coat, not quite as big coats, but we're stood here in us coats. It's 12 degrees and it is quite early. It's about 8:15.
Yes.
In the morning, but it is cold and cloudy and not very nice. It has been nice though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, where are we?
Oh.
I'll give you a clue. We're in a marina.
Yeah.
It is silly season out there at the moment.
Yes.
Because all the kids are on the school holidays and not a lot of people are going abroad, so everybody's on the canals and it got very busy. And how many times did we get unpinned last week?
About 4 times.
So, because it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, I put my birthday money into a little short stay here at Dunchurch Pools Marina.
You sold your body as well, didn't you? That got us about £1 worth.
And it's been lovely, I tell you. I mean, listen, shh. Apart from the wind round the muff, you can probably just hear the birds. But it has been absolutely beautiful. We spent a few days here, got a load of washing done, and filled it with water while we're here, used the facilities. Speaking of which, it is beautiful. It's our favourite marina, isn't it?
It is now.
But do you know how you could make it a little bit better?
Make it free.
Apart from that, that'd be good, but apart from that, there's like these big triangular decking areas. You could put a couple of hot tubs and massage tables on there. Change it to Dunchurch Pools Marina and Spa.
There you go, Karen.
I'd stay for that, wouldn't you? I like a good rub down, I do.
We've heard.
Anyway, we can't stay here forever. We've got a schedule to keep. And today...
We're going to Braunston!
Well, no, today we're going to the Gongoozler's Rest.
We are.
Which is... for breakfast, which just happens to be...
Which is not good for me because I'm on a diet.
Can't you tell he's on a diet? He's wasting away to nothing.
This was tight on me.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's done so well, he's lost over a stone.
I have.
Haven't you?
Yeah.
In 4 years. Yeah, today we're going to Braunston. We're on our way to Crick, and it's about 7 cruising hours away, but we're going to do it over 2 days, so 2 vlogs.
We're not that daft, we're not doing it all in one day.
So, we're going to the Gongoozler's Rest Cafe, boat, which is in Braunston today, and then we're going to go up the locks and through the tunnel and find somewhere to moor.
Yeah.
And if we can, then we're going to go to Crick next week. Well, not next week, because it's supposed to be the end of August, so they don't know.
Next week for you.
They don't know what time of year it really is, do they? Right, are you ready?
I am.
Let's get going.
Ooh.
I never ever thought I'd be sad to leave a marina.
I know.
I really liked it here. I think if we were ever to kind of moor in a marina or winter over somewhere, it'd be here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just by Bridge 83, if you're walking down the towpath or speeding past us like Speedy Gonzales just did,
And he was fast.
you might miss it.
I missed it.
Miss what?
I missed it.
We're in a cutting at the moment, but this used to be a little hill, a mound you might say.
A mound.
A mound. And when James Brindley designed the canal, he actually routed it around the mound.
He did. Using the lay of the land.
Using the lay of the land. And by Bridge 83 you might see a little gap in the trees where the canal used to come off that way, go around the other side of the mound and come back in just a little bit further down here.
Yeah.
Now if you go up there, there's also something else.
What?
To add into the mixture of mystery. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Shall we have a pub quiz? We've never done a pub quiz before.
No, we haven't.
All right, you go get the lagers and the cheesy moments.
Hold the stick.
Question number 1. What year did the Channel Tunnel open?
In the 1980s.
What year? Not what decade?
I'm covering 10. I'm
1994. But the idea
close.
came over 100 years earlier than that. A guy called Edward Watkin, he owned a railway company.
I knew him well.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
You were about in them days, weren't
I
you?
was.
And he had the mad idea of linking the industrial heartlands of Yorkshire and Lancashire with continental Europe. He saw money to be made.
Wow.
And so he bought a load of shovels and buckets and wheelbarrows, and he booked the navvies. He did.
I know.
And then he got poorly and he had to resign from the railway company. So all the managers got together and kind of had the plans in front of them and said, while they're drinking the Costa, are we still doing this tunnel or what? And they all rubbed their chins and went, nah, and went down the pub for a pint.
It'll never happen.
So it never happened till about 130, 140 years later. But the railway line was the Great Central Railway, which ran between Nottingham down to London. And this was called the London Extension. And it doesn't exist anymore. But if you take the drone up, you can still see the line of the railway. You can actually even see the bit we were talking about before, where the old canal route used to curl around the mound.
Yeah, the railway smashes straight through it.
And it does go literally straight through it. You can still see, just to our right hand side, an old frame that had a semaphore signal on it. That's really the only clue that there was a railway there. And there was a station just a few hundred yards further down in the village of Willoughby called Braunston and Willoughby, named after Holly. Before she was even born. We're not far from Braunston Turn or Braunston Junction,
Whatever you like to say.
whichever way you want to call it, and it's getting a bit windy. Now, a lot of the canal network is kind of divvied up,
It divvied up.
and a lot of the hire firms use the divvied up sections and call them rings, and they're like a cruising ring. It's like a little route you can do in a set amount of time. It's like a set menu at a Chinese restaurant, isn't it? Well, it is. It's like if you want set menu 1, it has this, this, and this.
Yes.
All right, nothing to do with rings unless the curry's really hot. So if we did a starboard turn at Braunston Turn, we'd be on the Warwickshire ring, which takes us to
Warwickshire.
Napton. But we're not. We're going to carry on. Well, we're actually going to go on the Leicester ring, even though we're not on the ring. We don't like being bound by rings, do we? But we're on the route of the Leicester ring, which means we're going to go straight on and kind of straight round Port Turnish into Braunston
We are.
ring. Bow. Don't know where it is. We timed it so that we got here quite early, because this is one of the busiest points on the whole canal system. It's Braunston Junction, where the Grand Union Canal meets the Oxford Canal, and it's quite famous for the two Horsley Ironworks bridges, or as somebody on YouTube said, Osley. It's a really iconic set of two bridges. And do you remember back to the vlog we did in Rugby, and I showed you the bridges, what they meant? So what do these mean? It means that this isn't the original junction. The original one, as James Brindley wrote it, is further round into Braunston, where the stop house is. We'll show you that in a little bit. And then it kind of meanders its way for a mile or so out into the fields before it comes back about half a mile down from where the Oxford Canal is now towards Napton. So this isn't the original junction, but the bridges are just so iconic.
Yeah.
I'm glad we set off early this morning. It's already fairly busy with boats moving around and it can get quite hectic down here sometimes. Luckily, there's a couple of mooring spaces close to the Gongoozler's Rest so we can get moored up, and not a moment too soon for Sean, I don't think.
Morning, you alright?
I can hear his belly rumbling from here. Or is it mine? It might be Otis's. He can definitely smell that bacon frying. That was gorgeous, wasn't
It was absolutely scrummy.
He hadn't eaten for 2 days.
3 days?
Anticipation for it. That's why he's looking like he is. All svelte and lovely.
Svelte.
We moored just before the stop house, or the toll house as it used to be called, because it's on what used to be the junction. That used to be the junction of the Oxford and Grand Union Canal, not that one. Remember me saying a few minutes ago?
Yes.
And what used to happen is the toll man used to sit, and you can see the windows come out. You will in a minute when I show you the video. And he used to sit and watch for boats, and when a boat came he'd go out and charge them, because you had to pay a toll to use the water back in them days. And it's said, I have this on good authority, that he actually ran a piece of rope across the canal with bells attached to it, so that the boats would hit the rope and ring the bell. Then if he didn't see them while he was sat in his bay window knitting, he could come out and he'd hear them.
Knitting?
Yeah, and he'd come out and get his money. What? That's what happened.
Knitting.
If Tom Daly can do it, lock keepers from 1800s can do it. Can you remember how much you were earning back in 1923?
Threepence.
When I left school, I was on a YTS at a radio station, and I was on £29.50 a week.
Wow, what year was that?
2000 and summer. Back in 1923, this stretch of canal between that bridge and the bottom lock was jammed with dozens of narrowboats, working narrowboats from Fellows, Morton and Clayton. And they were on strike.
Yeah.
The unions had been negotiating with all the other canal companies for a fairer deal for boatmen. And they'd all got deals, but Fellows, Morton and Clayton were being a bit stubborn. And all the boatmen were asking for was a maximum 48-hour week and a minimum wage, and just changes to their expenses for things like horses and crew. But the company weren't having any of it and wouldn't budge. So eventually the boatmen had enough and went on strike.
Oh.
And they blocked this section of the canal, one of the busiest sections in the country now, and it was back then as well, with fully laden working boats. Now, the company weren't having any of it, and they tried sending people in to get the cargo off so that they could sell it to the people it was supposed to be going to. But the boatmen were a step ahead, and they had boats full of hot tar, like a, barricade, stopping them. So the boat company ended up calling the police, and they came in and got the cargo off. And the company then evicted a lot of the boatmen off their own boats,
Wow.
losing the livelihood. The strike lasted about 14 weeks, and in the end, they didn't get a single concession from the company, so it was a waste of time. Just opposite Ladder Bridge, which is that one there, the one made out of wood, is a big old space. There's no houses on it, there's no boats moored next to it. It's just a space, and the ground's a bit sunken. That's a clue as to what was there. Used to be a quarry, and that's where they dug all the clay, which they turned into bricks, which they then hauled up by wheelbarrow to the top of the locks, and they used it to line Braunston Tunnel, which we're going to go and see in a little bit. Do you think it's a coincidence that there's two pubs between here and Braunston Tunnel?
No. Not at all.
I bet they were a lot happier when they got to the tunnel mouth.
I'd have been happier again to pub.
You're a tunnel mouth. We're just coming up to the first of Braunston's 6 locks, and once we get to the top, we'll be exactly, give or take an inch, 35.5 feet higher up and on the summit of this part of the Grand Union Canal. Now earlier on I said it gets a bit hectic here sometimes, and there's another 5 boats waiting to go up the locks. So Sean jumps off with his windlass to lend a hand while I do the civilised thing and put the kettle on. This is lock 3, and there's a pub here called the Admiral Nelson. It's been here for donkey's years. It was actually a farmhouse when it was built, but it has been a pub for a long time, and it's got a bit of a dubious past to it. Apparently there's a ghost, a figure of a lady in black who walks between the walls of the pub and the cottage next door. I'm not into that, are you? But it could be something to do with that little building at the end of the pub, which apparently used to be a morgue. Back in the days when they were building Braunston Tunnel, they used that little building on the end of the pub as a temporary mortuary for the workers that were killed while they were digging the tunnel, because it was so cool and dark in there. I don't know though. Ghosts? What do you reckon? You might recognise this place. It's Braunston's Top Lock Cottage, and it features on the cover of our brand new 2022 calendar. Now if you want one, there's a link in the video description, or just go to foxesafloat.com and click on the calendar tab at the top of the menu. That's the 6 Braunston locks done. Right in front of us is Braunston Tunnel, which is just in time because it's about to start raining.
It's raining.
So we'll get wet either out here or in there anyway. Hence the costume change. It was built in 1796. It's just over a mile long, and when they built it, they got some quicksand, a little bit like at Blissworth Tunnel, and they had to sink some extra shafts. But they miscalculated, and so there's a little bit of a kink in the tunnel. Now it is very busy on the canal this morning, so we're expecting boats coming both ways, and you can pass in the tunnel with a few inches at each side to spare. Hopefully that's not going to happen, because we know that we'll get the boat that comes straight down the middle at 86 miles an hour. So we're going to set up some cameras for your pleasure and entertainment just in case that happens, but secretly we're going to hope that it doesn't. You might notice in the roof, in the brick, these old kind of loops or bits of metal. Back in the 1870s, to save the boatmen from having to leg the boats through the tunnel, they put a steel wire rope all the way through the tunnel and looped it back, and it was attached to an engine, and it was meant to pull boats through the tunnel. But it never really worked. It kept breaking down and it wasn't really economical, so they took it out, and instead they introduced a steam tug and it would tug the boats through the tunnel. The boatmen loved that.
I bet they did.
It cost them 1 and 6 to have a full load tugged through.
That was a lot of money.
It was. But if you were empty, it were only a shilling. Every now and then you see these patches in the brickwork where it looks like the bricks have blown out or they've been cracked. And that's where, in the olden days, when they used to leg the boats through the tunnels, sometimes they'd use the barge pole to push themselves through. But that damaged the brickwork, and the canal companies didn't like that because it cost them to replace it and repair the tunnels. There's also these signs, and we get this question quite a lot, these green and white arrows, and like that one there, and asking what are they for. Well, if there's an emergency in the tunnel, or your boat breaks down, or God forbid you have to actually get out the boat and swim back, the arrows point to the closest exit from the tunnel. Don't you hate it when you get a splash and it kind of falls right between your coat and your neck, and it makes you go, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you go what? No. Right, we've got to find somewhere to moor now.
Yay.
Well, we're here. We're literally only about 500 yards after the tunnel. Concentrate.
I'm concentrating.
About 500 yards after the tunnel. And last time we were here, this stretch got a bit busy. Well, parts of it did. It's busier up the other end, so it was quiet when we got here, but literally by the time we'd chained up and got the camera out,
There's another 4 boats.
so I reckon it's going to get busy. Although I can smell bacon still.
I can.
Although I don't know if that's just...
Coming from that boat there.
Yeah, coming from that boat or still wafting up from the Gongoozler's Rest. Tempting us back to Braunston.
It is.
Come back, we're not going back to Braunston. 3 hours and 20 minutes it should have taken us today.
You know what it's like with Colin, all the faffing.
5 hours and 40 minutes is what it's actually taken us to get here.
Faff.
It's not faff.
You are, you faff.
Quality for the viewer, that's what we're after. Now, the next time you see us, we're going to be on our way to Crick.
Yes.
And you can probably sense the anxiety building.
You'll be fine.
I'm having to work myself up to this. I'm getting as many cat powders on the boat as I can get.
I've got tranquiliser gun.
No, you haven't. It's like Homer's makeup gun, isn't it? We hope you've enjoyed your little trip with us today. It's been all right, hasn't it?
I've enjoyed it.
We've been through Braunston.
Again?
That should shut them up for a couple of months, shouldn't it?
Should do.
If you've enjoyed this episode, and we hope you have, and you're not already, please hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up and give the video a like, or a thumbs down if you didn't. And if you hit the notifications bell, YouTube will let you know every time we release a brand new video, which is
On a Friday at 4 o'clock.
if you want to help support the channel, there's a link up above Sean's head. And it's also, well, if you're watching on a phone it is, or a tablet, a good tablet.
If you're watching on the TV, don't bother.
No,
You'll
it's
have to
in
go
the-
to a computer.
Yeah, it's in the video description. Right, I think we're going to go follow the trail of bacon. We'll see you later. Bye.
Ta-da!
Today, we've got to move. Today, you had one line. And now
I
we've
can't
got to do
remember
all
it.
again.
We'll do that again, folks.
I can't even remember what I'm saying now. Or if you've had one of Sean's curries, you'd have the red hot burning ring, wouldn't you?
You cannot say that.
I'm glad you didn't laugh at me saying it were 1 and 6 to have a full load to